Right. Okay. That was weird. I'll give people a chance to get back in. I don't know why that happened. I don't know what was going on. I'm deleting that right away. Or maybe it won't let me. Let me make sure this is working. Yep, it's working. Well, that was annoying. Just waiting for people to join in, and I'm sorting through this last one that just broke. If you're watching the VOD, apologies for this rough start. Basically, I went live there and I had it all set up. It was ready to go. The second I press live, the audio is just not working, and I had to restart my Streamlabs. So that's fun. But I am just making sure. I'm just trying to get. I guess I don't need to do it now. I just don't want it to confuse people. But honestly, it might not let me do this right now. Okay, I'll do that after. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are back. Today I am playing Fortnite for the first time in, it's got to be a few years probably. I've not played this game in a long time, but you know what, it's family friendly, people like it, so we're going to give it a go. Today I'm going for something a little bit more chill. Usually in my previous streams I have been joined by other people. Today it's just me, so tough, you'll need to deal with it. But yeah, I am changing what I'll do, you know what, I'll get into a game. I'm gonna get into a couple of games and before we start the kind of main chat, but also just to talk through a couple of things and to kind of just be open about where my mind's at with the streaming moving forward and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into this. I've not played Fortnite in ages. And yes, if you're watching, say hello in the chat. I apologize for the confusing start there. I had some issues with the audio, so I had to restart the stream. But we're here now. But yeah, I'd say over the last few streams, I don't know, I feel like I've struggled a little bit with you would think that talking while gaming wouldn't be as difficult as it actually is. I think a large part of why it's so difficult just comes down to, I think for me partially maybe more so because I'm like, I know people are watching me, right? So like in previous streams, if I've been when I've been live, obviously I've had people with me, and to be fair, everyone I've done it with has afterwards said that's so much more difficult than I thought it would be, which was my reaction. But for me, I think as well, because I know people are watching my gameplay, I feel like I have the added pressure of like, I'm trying to make it entertaining, I'm trying to actually play alright, while also try to keep up, you know, because I know people are watching, so I'm trying to keep up with the conversation. It's difficult, so this stream I'm going to try a little bit different. I think, sorry, Sus Studios is crazy, but you know we're dropping there. What was I saying? So you can see already, so this is what I mean, right? I just feel like I lose my train of thought so easily. So I'm wanting to, from like moving forward, maybe try and do a little bit more broken up. So I think I'll do a bit of gameplay, maybe a few rounds, and then we'll talk a little bit on the main topic, and then maybe do some more rounds, continue on, stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully that'll be a little bit more flowy, a little bit more easy for me to fully focus on the conversation because I try not to be too hard on myself, but there's parts of me that are just like, man, I watch back the streams and I'm like, I wish I could have said this, or, you know, I feel like I'm struggling to keep up with doing both at once, and I want to be able to give it, I want to be able to give everything to both, if that makes sense. So if that means splitting them up, doing a bit of talking and a bit of playing separately rather than together, then that's okay for me. But if you're watching this either now or later on, I'd like to hear any opinions, any thoughts on that. You know, what would you prefer? I mean, if you would prefer that I continue, you know, on doing the discussions with the gameplay, then I'm happy to try and make it work. And perhaps you're watching the previous streams and you thought it actually worked fine, in which case don't worry about it. But yeah, if you thought like me that maybe this would make more sense, I suppose you can maybe wait till the end of the stream, see what you think, what your opinion is. Okay. Never played with these guns before. These are all new to me. That was alright. Should have used that from the beginning. Okay, what did I just do? I jumped really high. Oh. Nah, bro. So, yeah, I've not played Fortnite in a few years, but like I said earlier, family friendly, so anyone can watch. Great fun. You know, I used to enjoy this. I think the last time I probably got into Fortnite was when they done the OG for the first time. Because so I played Fortnite when it first came out. Yeah, when it first came out, I used to play it on the Xbox. Actually, it might have been the Xbox 360 I played it on, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like two generations ago. Yo, Max in the chat. Hello, Max. Sukuna, not quite, but close. But yeah, my brother in chat just there. We used to play Fortnite all the time. I'd say we used to enjoy it. And then it was him that I actually got into when the OG season came out. We started playing this together. Is Crystal watching? I don't know. He was in the stream, but I had to reset the stream because the audio for some reason wasn't working. So, Crystal, if you're here, make yourself known. Okay. Let's see what this does. No. It's not really a long range weapon. But I'm trying to think what I was saying earlier. Yeah, anyways, I'm wanting to try and break up a little bit more, change things up, and just figure out what works best. But any ideas are always appreciated, and help really get a more enjoyable stream for everyone watching. Can't tell if this is a bot or not. Kind of plays like one, but who knows. He's a part-timer, he is. Goodness, how much health does this guy have? Okay. Okay, that was close. But yeah, what is this? Sniper rifle? I'm okay. So today, later on, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing a bit of testimony. I've not really shared, I've maybe shared bits and pieces in the previous streams, but maybe share a bit more. When I say testimony, it's not like my life story, it's not quite my coming to faith story. It's more, you know, why Jesus, but from my point of view, what I mean by that is why I personally, like when someone, if you were to ask me, you know, why do you have faith, why do you believe in Jesus, basically what my answer would be. I want to go into kind of that a little bit in depth. But you know, if you believe it, you don't believe, you have questions, that's fine. You know, it's for everyone. It's not just for anyone that has beliefs. Everyone is welcome. But yeah, I think I've just found myself being a little bit not insecure, but like I'll just listen back and I'm just not happy with what I've said, or I just kind of wish I'd said a bit something better, a bit more. I actually quite like that SMG's only thing with the scope. I'll try something new. But yeah, I found that I was just like, I don't know, it's something that I guess I struggle with as well, that like sometimes I doubt my abilities to not communicate, but like, well, you know that way when you like hear, as a Christian maybe you'll get this, if not maybe it'll be a bit different, maybe it'll show up differently in your life, but like I'll hear some people share, even like the people, like guests that I'll have in stream, and they can put things in like so intricately and in a way that like just sounds like it just makes a lot of sense, and then sometimes I listen back to myself and I'm like, I feel like I'm making absolutely no sense, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like what I'm saying is maybe not coming across as well as I'd like it to, and because I'm having to focus on this as well, I've got the added trouble of trying to focus on this and focus on what I'm saying at the same time. Which again, I think switching it up will make that easier. Yeah, this game is so different from what I like. Every time I even try to think about playing this game again, there's like so much I have to relearn. It's crazy. I remember and I think like the last time I played this game was like a few years ago, but I think there was one or two times occasionally where I would hop on just to like test out like PC, right? When I upgraded my PC, I tested, and I remember like, I swear at one point I was playing a game and I had guns, and then someone, like a monster, just came at me, and at that point I was like, man, this game is crazy. Like, why is there? Oh, that's a bot. But I was like, why are there monsters in Fortnite now? Like, I'm trying to have a gunfight and there's someone literally running at me on all fours. Oh, what? See, look, that is exactly what I mean. How's this guy just up and flown away? I guess I can get his loot though. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to me. But I mean, people like it, I guess. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. I actually got a decent loadout now. You'll be annoyed though, I took all his stuff. Oh, who was that? My problem is, that's not the guy that was over here. Oh, 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 oh. Don't know who that was. Dang. You win some, you lose some. I could not see him for a time there. Well, okay. Let's get into another game. Let's try a bit more. If you're watching right now, let me know in the chat. It was shocking. I know, Max. I know it was. I'll play better this one. I'll play better. Are you still planning on watching the football, Max? We'll have less people watching today because there's a big there's a Celtic game on right today. I don't think it's now. I don't know when it is, but oh, this game is so weird now. Like, I think for some reason when I jump like off the ledge or something, my guy, he'll like jump higher. Yeah. Like he doesn't do that off of everything. Only ledges. I feel like that could catch you out, make you take extra fall damage. But it's not doing it there. You're heading now, Maximum. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I don't even know how to pin. Place marker. Oh, it's as simple as that. I don't know where to go. I guess I'll go here. This game is, I used to play it so much, genuinely. Hence why I've got all the cosmetics. I've got tons of, like, stuff that I've got. Like, I used to get the battle pass, and yeah, this used to be my thing, man. This used to be my thing. Okay, this must be a popular spot. See, obviously I didn't know that because, again, not playing this game at all. Oh, and I'm gonna be dead, aren't I? Yeah, no guns there as well, of course. Give me something. Okay. I also know sometimes these are not real players. You get as many kills as I can here because this is a busy spot. Yeah, I don't know where the spots are, to be honest, the good ones. Okay. These Uzis seem alright. I mean, I used them in the last round as well. They seemed okay. Oh. Right, let's see who's about here. There's someone. Got him. Something decent there as well, it seems. Man, I'm trying to remember all the controls. I keep pressing the wrong buttons to do things. Whoa! How many times did I shoot him before? I thought I shot him loads there. Is he Vecna? That's crazy if he is. We'll see how this goes. With the rate I'm playing, it might be there might be quite a few games in between to make up for. I mean, I thought there would be one or two, but if I don't win any, certainly there's going to be probably more games in between the main talking points. Currently just got some new Wi-Fi, which is good. Like, it's faster, but because I've just got it in, it's like still calibrating. So there's like being random times during the day where it's like just stopped, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen during the stream. The stream is a bit more last minute. Originally my intention was to do it later in the week. I was going to do a live stream on Sunday, but I'm heading to America the next day on Monday, early in the morning, because I wanted to get one stream in before I went to America, and that was going to be the only day. But then our day freed up today, so I thought I would do it now so that I'd have Sunday to kind of focus on getting ready for leaving. So hence why I'm live today, but it is a bit more last minute, so there's not as many people watching as there normally would be, but that is okay. Not just about this, you know, who's watching live, it's also, you know, if people maybe be watching the clips later on and whatever else. Right, come on, let's have a good game here. I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling this one. Some weird gliders people have got here. Oh, I'm kind of blended in here. Maybe that will make me, what do you call it? Camouflage. Okay. Right, I need a gun ASAP. That'll do. Okay. See someone there. I'm just gonna go on a rampage. I've got some decent guns already. That was definitely a bot. Yeah, the fact that people are dropping in so late, I feel like they have to be, like, they can't be real players. Okay. Oh! Okay. Oh, that would have been an escape. I don't know what happened there, I panicked. Oh, I am sorry. That is a shocking performance. A shocking performance from me. Oh man. Let's get another game. Okay. Oh. There we go. Yeah, this may be a shorter stream today. We'll see what happens. I don't know because it took me a while to get the stuff out. Maybe more people will join later. There's maybe less. I mean, I've only made a few posts about it. Really, I've not really. I only really advertised it once I got out of work at just before 5. So really, people have only had maybe 2 hours to see it. These are interesting. They seem to like these guns that you throw away instead of reload. I don't really understand it. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I think we'll see how long this game goes, and we'll maybe jump into the convo. I don't actually know if I dropped into Sus Studios, so I might do that now. Oh no, well you know what? No, let me go battle with Boulevard. That looks like it is going to be busy. Maybe I should be dropping the busy spots. Maybe that's why I'm losing so easily. I also don't know what this glider is. I don't think I maybe forgot to select it as glider. Because I customized everything else before the stream, but I didn't see a glider. Yeah, but. Okay. What part do I go? See, I feel like I dropped too late. Still, I don't know the tech. I don't know the tech yet. Realistically, I'm gonna have to get good at this game. I'm gonna have to learn how to play this game again. Because chances are, I'll play it more often, just as it's a easy game to play and it's family friendly, you know. To make sure everyone can watch, young and old. I don't know which one of these I'll prefer, so I'll just guess. I also feel like my sense isn't quite what I want it to be, but I've not really messed with it. I've just kind of loaded in and went for it, so it's probably not going to be what I want. But I can get used to it. I can get used to it. Been getting some good reach on the. We've been posting stuff on Instagram. No, not on Instagram. Sorry, on TikTok and YouTube. And this stuff's been doing for decent, you know, for something we've just started this month. This is only the third week we've done it. I say me. I don't know why I'm saying we. I'm in work mode, I think. It's only the third week I've done it, and you know the reach being good. Well, I guess I mean we as in like. No, I don't mean we. I mean me. There it is again. See, can I take full damage from that? Because that's got to be like really annoying if I take full damage because the game decided to make me do a long jump instead of a regular one. Right, let's get some kills here. I'm actually surprised this seems like the kind of spot that would be dead busy. This is how you play, see. Oh. Was that the person I heard in here? Must have been. Give me that big jump. Okay, see, how does it work? Because I don't know why I didn't get it there. But yeah, I got it jumping off the bus. It might be just like a timing thing, but I don't know what the timing is. Now? There we go. That's weird. These guys have to be bots. The fact they've been fighting for so long. Guess I'll clear it up. Or, I don't know, do bots use those kind of things? Okay, how are some... Oh my word, that is embarrassing. But although... This gun didn't seem very accurate there. Well, I guess it's a real player, but I don't know what kind of fight they were having that they were in it for so long. I don't like that I've let him get away though. I also know there's more people back there, so... I'm happy staying here until I can get this fight. Footsteps. What? Someone's going up, someone's going up. Oh man. Okay. Oh, I can stack that, right? I'm trying to remember if you could always carry a stack of 5 minis. I could be wrong, but I almost feel like I remember it being that you could like have 3 at a time. I don't know if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but for some reason I feel like I remember it being 3 minis. No, that, you know what, that could be wrong. That could be wrong. Okay. Good, they did. Yeah, I need some healing, preferably a med kit. At the very least, I might be clear here. Bandages, I'll take them. I'll take them. Oh, how'd you boost? Oh wait, you can't boost anymore? Is that a thing? Oh! Yo, how do I get out? Bro, why don't you hold it? Are you kidding me on? Okay, where is this guy? I wish I could change what angle I was speaking. Nah. Where is this guy? Oh, there we go, baited him. See him. Go on, peek. He's hard to hit, man. Gotta run out of minis before I can kill him. Although, he doesn't seem like he's healing. Let's break that. Nah, I'm... Well, I mean, no, I think I've got to be winning this fight right now. He did not hit me. There we go, with 8 HP to spare. That's what I'm talking about. Don't mess with me, bro. You do not do it. Doesn't end well. Wingsuit. Is that the thing that guy was using to pure fly away? Who knows? This guy had no heals, of course he didn't. Yeah, if I get spotted even once, I'm dead here. Can I eat these? Does that help me? Better than nothing, I guess. I mean, that hardly does anything, but... I won't complain. I won't complain. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just go more to the center here. I don't really know where else to go. I desperately need... Oh, shit. Okay. That should have some stuff that I need. Just try to oh, yes, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Maybe we shouldn't be out in the open. I actually got to see some decent stuff, to be fair. So that is very good. Oh, and beautiful. Just what I needed. Okay. Gonna head to the center, I think. This game's looking better. 4 kills, 15 players left. I can see myself having this. I'm sure I can pull it off. I remember when they added that thing where, like, you can... Like, back in the day, you used to... Oh, that was new. I was expecting to go up. You used to, like, when you were... Like, say you were just slightly low in shields and you decided to take, like, a big pot or, like, a... You were low in, like, health and you took, like, a med kit. Like, back in the day, you used to just have to take the whole thing, no matter how little... Whereas now it's like, it's dependent on how much health you've got, which is like, I don't know why it wasn't always like that. It seems so much better. I think I do enjoy the parkour changes, like the fact that I can jump up a building is pretty cool. I just don't like the... Oh. I don't like the jumping off. I guess I can see how it could be useful. I guess I haven't really seen the downside of it yet. I just was like... I guess it would be cool if there was an option for it, or like a button. Like, rather than just like, see that? Yeah, okay, so that's my theory. Was that it would make me take more fall damage. Unless it doesn't make me take any more than I normally would, but... I don't know, I can't imagine that being the case. Oh, right. See, yeah, I'm gonna go towards that. I know someone's over here. I have no idea what that thing is. So someone is in this general direction. With the crown. It'd be cool if I could get a victory with the crown on this stream. That'd be nice. I would like to get one victory in this stream. I used to get fairly regular wins. Let me just wait till I've got... Oh, okay, watch this. I'm gonna clean up. Oh, and there's someone else to the left. So this guy's low. He's gonna be healing. Hopefully that guy pushes him. I guess it's for me. He's done. And I can see these two other guys. I hope that was a bot. 2 crown players together. Okay. I don't know what gave me aimbot there, to be honest. I'm not complaining, but yeah, I don't know why I was able to do that. What do I do here? What do I take? I guess I could keep these shields. I'll take this. I should probably check this guy's loot as well. Although people are going to be drawn to that because they can see the crown, right? Had a sword. No. Okay, I'm gone. Oh well, I'm actually in the circle. Good, it's gone. There's someone. Nope. Oh my word. Yo, I'm doing insane though right now. This might be the game. This might be the game. Come on, we can do it. Can do it, can do it, can do it. What was that? Oh. Oh wait, does that mean someone claimed that? I feel like that... I don't know. I don't know. It's been so long. I choose this because I didn't like that gun I was using. Oh no! Where was that from? I need to kind of go on around the outside because I have no idea who that was or where that came from. I'm hoping whatever those shots are, that was who shot at me, and that I can focus on getting here in peace. Seems to be alright. What's that, 3 people left? I'm actually in for a chance to win. I will say I'd be more confident if I had a big shield right now. I might not be the only person in this position, but part of me thinks I will be. Does that mean someone's in that? Don't think so. Right, shield, shield, shield. No. I mean, I've got high ground here. Right, no shield. Okay, I need to be careful. Yeah, come up, come up. Come up. Let's see what happens. I want to understand how there's 2 players other than me. Once this circle starts moving, they need to move. Got some good guns here. I think this is going to be a game of chicken of who moves first. I'm assuming, I mean, you can probably keep using that wingsuit, no? I just saw him. I just saw him. Whoa! Oh no, I'm dead. Oh, imagine I died to full damage. Oh no. Oh no! I'm done. Yep. Wow. Bush camping. Never thought I'd see it. Game's the game. Game is the game. Okay. Alright. Oh, that bugged, sorry. My transitions sometimes don't work as they should. Well, some decent games, not the best. It's okay. I'm gonna get into a wee bit of chat for now, and then we'll come back to. We'll go on for some more games after that. I just get it up. Okay. If you're still watching, let me know. Give us something in the chat. All right. So, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know where it's going to go. It's just going to be a bit of testimony. Specifically, obviously, the question of this stream is why Jesus. What I mean by that is, why do I believe in Jesus? Why not something else? Why do I believe the things that I do? And I wanted to leave a wee section at the end for people to do a wee bit of a Q&A as well. But yeah, there are many reasons why I believe in Jesus. If I was to talk on all of them, this would be a very long stream, and there's so many roads you can go down with each of them. If you want to talk about the science, like the physical proof, if you want to talk about the geographical proof, if you want to talk about the spiritual side, like there's so many sides you can take. The side that I'm coming from today is just my side, everyone's side. It's just why I believe in what I believe, and maybe it'll help someone watching. Maybe it'll be something that you needed to hear, and if it is, then great. And if not, that is also great, or that's fine. I don't wish to impose my beliefs on anyone. I just want to share the love of Jesus with people, and if you don't get anything from it, it's fine. I just want people to know. But I'm going to start off with a wee verse, if that's okay. It's John chapter 14, and it's verse 27. And it says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. But do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." So I read that again. "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." This is during the time where Jesus is essentially preparing the disciples for his departure, from him returning to, like, he's preparing them for when he's gone. He's, amongst this, he's talking about the Holy Spirit, leaving them with the Holy Spirit. But one of the things he says here is that he is leaving them his peace. He doesn't just say peace, he says my peace. And further than that, he says, I do not give to you as the world gives. So it's not the same type of peace that maybe we're used to. Maybe when we think of peace, we think of, a bit of quiet, when maybe, when you're in a loud household, that first time when maybe your parents are at the house, or maybe your dogs went down for sleep, or there's something in your life that's caused a bit of noise, and then, when you come away from that, you're like, oh, that's peace. Maybe that's what you think peace is. Maybe, there's lots of examples of what peace are, but this is a different kind of peace that's hard to explain. It's hard to put into words, the peace that he's talking about, because it is, in a way, one that surpasses all kind of normal human understanding. It's it's a peace that that comes regardless of the situation. It's a peace in the midst of something that should not peace should not be, if that makes sense. Um, and this type of peace is something that I can vouch for personally. Um, it is one that God offers us specifically. Um, we actually spoke on it in the last stream. When we were playing Minecraft, we spoke on how, you know, we're not promised to have, like, by giving our lives to Jesus as Christians, we're not promised easy lives. We're not told that we're never going to face trials. We're never going to face difficulties in our lives. And I think partially that's why we are given this peace, is because we're not offered delivered in the sense of we're not offered to be like that those challenges are going to be removed from our lives, but we are given peace. We get peace in Jesus, and that can help us. That's what I think gets us through those things that otherwise without the Lord we wouldn't be able to, if that makes sense. And you know, I think a lot of people, and me myself as well, I have tried to get peace through other means. I've tried to take control myself over the situations that I'm facing to kind of get some peace, whether that be through other people or like a relationship. At one time it was alcohol, or maybe even some other spiritual mediums, you know, meditation, crystals, like the galaxy stuff. Like people try a lot to find peace. People will really look anywhere. I think everyone is searching for peace. I think that's one thing that, like, universally we all long for, and we all crave, is just peace. And again, like, this is a different peace. Like, I think we know that because I think we all have moments of peace in our life, but yet we're never content with that. And I think that's because we haven't, until you've experienced true peace, then the peace that the world has to offer is just not really, it's never going to satisfy you, because there is a longing in us, in our souls, for relationship with Jesus and the peace that he can give. There's a lot, like, without it there's a hole in us, you know, and I think his peace fills that hole. But yeah, I've looked for it in other places. Many other people have. And some people also think that you know, it'll maybe come. It's maybe just not for you right now. Like, I'll have peace once I've retired, once I've got enough money, once I've started a family, then I'll be at peace. And you know, for the same reasons, that's not what God is offering. He's not offering us peace once we've accomplished something, once we've done this, once we've done that. It's once we've accepted him, you know. And yeah, I thought I wasn't good enough for it. You know, I never thought that I'd heard about this peace, and I was kind of like, that's for people that have maybe led better lives, people that served in the church, people that done the, you know, this, that, or the next thing. But it was never that case. It was never for this person or not for that person. It's available for all of us. What I truly believe is that you just need to give it a chance. I believe fully that if you invite Jesus into your life and ask for that peace, you will find it. I fully believe if you genuinely ask God and are genuinely accepting, like, there's no point in saying something and then not meaning it. Like, obviously, I'm not saying if you just say it, it's gonna happen. I'm saying if you mean it, like, if you genuinely invite Jesus into your life and ask him to just give you that peace, and I honestly believe you'll find it. And it's a difficult one when talking about stuff like this, because I know a lot of people just want something concrete. A lot of people just want an answer, something physical, something like without a shadow of a doubt, that they, and all I can show you is a feeling. But all I can tell you is my experience. And I used to struggle with anxiety. I used to struggle with just such a lack of peace. I used to struggle from insomnia because of how restless my mind was. I would sometimes not sleep for days at a time because my mind would keep me up because I couldn't settle it. And only Jesus was able to calm that storm, that busyness, and that lack of peace in my mind, and the anxieties. I tried counseling, meditation, I tried different medications, but realistically the only thing that helped me with my anxiety was when I just gave it to God. And it still shows up, it still creeps up on me from time to time, but it is not what it once was. And now when I do face it, I at least know that I've got God and I'm getting out the other side of it stronger and better, and that even if I'm feeling anxious right now, it's all in his hands and I can trust it to him because he's got me through those things time and time again. So that was peace. Peace to me is one of the big reasons why. The peace that God gives to us is one of the reasons why I would say Jesus is the way. But the other one, another big one for me, is strength. And specifically, God-given strength when you should have none, if that makes sense. A wee story. My brother, one of my younger brothers, he's not a Christian. He used to be, but he fell away from it when he was older. I'm still extremely close with him. We'll have regular conversations about faith because he finds it interesting, and I wouldn't say he's closed off. There are, I think sometimes he can be, or he's maybe not as open to, because he's one of those people that maybe needs like something like concrete, like he needs to see something in his face. But anyways, I used to believe it. Now he doesn't, but we still have very open, respectful conversations about faith fairly regularly. And at one point, he'd asked me just straight up. He was like, "Why do you believe in Jesus? Like how can you believe in Jesus? What's the proof? What do you have that makes you so certain of it?" And for me, the answer right away was strength, or the strength that God's given me. Many of the times, the things that he would say to me would challenge me. There was things that he would say that I wouldn't have an answer to, and that I'd be like, it'd make me think, and I'd be like, oh, well, okay, that kind of makes sense. But regardless of that, the one thing I can't deny, regardless of how much sense anything else makes, is that I know the peace that God's given me, but two, the strength that he's given me. And that's not, like, I know for a fact that strength is not of my own. And the problem is it's hard to convince someone of that, because only you can really confirm or deny that. Only you can know. But you can tell people, and if they listen to you or not, it's up to them. But that strength, again, I'm not talking about physical strength here. I'm talking about something more than that. Yeah, and I never want to compare any of my experiences to anyone else's, because everyone's got their own challenges. And one thing I've never liked is when people, would compare situations and try and be like, oh, well, I'm worse off, this and that. Like, it's not, everyone's worst is their worst. So, they can be feeling just as bad, and their situation as you are in yours, because they're at their worst right now, and maybe your worst you think is worse than theirs. Maybe in a um maybe in a sense it could be, but that's their worst. You know what I mean? So I never like comparing. I never enjoy it. I don't know what that sound was. What is that sound? Okay. Hold on. What's going on? Oh, there's been so many weird things today. Weird. Okay, no idea what that was, but we'll move on. That was really weird. What was that? Was that in Fortnite? I think it might have been in Fortnite. Okay, sorry. I want to continue. Where was I? Sorry about that. That confused me. Okay. So yeah, I never like to compare my situation to someone else's. However, what I will say is that I've known people, I've seen people, I've heard from people that have been through situations very similar to the ones that I've faced. Well, I'll give a bit of context. Growing up, for example, I was severely bullied in school. Throughout primary and throughout high school, I was very badly bullied, to the point where, I was getting beaten up every day. I was getting called everything you can imagine. I was getting followed home and thrown into ditches, and I was getting my lunch stolen. I was getting my everything, like I had my bottles broken. My jackets kept getting stolen. I kept losing jackets because people were stealing them and chucking them in the bins. I was having kick me stickers put on me. I mean, that was the kind of thing I thought only happened in American movies, but no, that was my childhood. So I had a bad experience in school, and I won't even that, I'm not really going into the worst of it, but like that was like that was brutal for me. That's not even the worst thing that's happened in my life, but that was like, at that time, that was like really, really poor. That was like the hardest thing for me. So my parents took me out of school when I was going into just second year of high school. I had to get taken out because the bullying got too much, and I was like crying like hysterically because I didn't want to go back to school. And I was scared of the teachers. I was scared of the students, because it wasn't like, when I say I was bullied, it wasn't one or two kids. It wasn't like a group. It was every side. Like, there wasn't one kid in that school that didn't bully me, if that makes sense. There was maybe some that wouldn't join in but would watch and not do anything about it. But they would all, when it came to my classes, I would get passed about. No one wanted to partner up with me. No one wanted to help me with my projects. It was me versus everyone. I didn't have anyone. Even my best mate at the time, dropped me. And so as a kid, you can imagine that's like just so rough and just depressing. And so my parents took me out of school. And then after they took me, so I was homeschooled. They homeschooled me, which was good in the sense that it got me away from that. But then I faced another problem, which was loneliness, because obviously you're not having human interaction. So it was like, on one hand, I wasn't like, my human interaction was like terrible and like made me feel like depressed, and like I wasn't eating, I wasn't talking to my parents, I wasn't talking to anyone, I was just like secluding myself. But on the other hand, I was being forcefully secluded, and like, not forcefully as in I was being like against my will, but as in like I had no, like there was nothing really at that time for homeschooled people. There is a lot more now. There was a few things, but like it was few and far between, and it wasn't like school where you would see people every day. And I think as a kid I was longing for that, and I really struggled with that. And so that to me was like it was just brutal. It just weighed on me so much. And I've heard stories, and I know of people that were in similar positions than me that unfortunately didn't make it through those kind of things, or that came out of those things worse. And I'm not trying to say that it's not about who had it better, who had it worse. I'm saying that they came out of that situation more damaged, if that makes sense. Not to hold that over anyone, but like I've seen people come out of like situations like that absolutely broken. Like it affects them for the rest of their life. But for myself, amongst all that, I had Jesus. Amongst all that, I still went to church. I had a youth group. I was able to pray. Even though I was alone, even though I faced that bullying, I still had protection. And even when I questioned life, and even when I questioned my mental health, and I thought, this is the lowest I've ever been, and I was like dreading like waking up the next day, something gave me strength to keep pushing forward and to keep going on. And that's just one example. That's not the worst example. Things much worse have happened to me that I've had strength seemingly from nowhere to pull me through a situation that I know of people that, maybe if I was in that, maybe if I didn't have Jesus, in all seriousness, I wouldn't still be here, And that's not me trying to be morbid. That's where my mind was at, and that's where I know many other people have ended up. And it's terrible, and I hate that, and I never want that for anyone. That's why I'm out. That's why I'm talking about this, because I know the strength that can be found from Jesus, and that's why I'm so sure in Jesus, because the strength that he offers is unlike anything else. Again, it doesn't mean that it takes you out of those situations, but without it, I would just be lost. And so that for me has always been the one thing that to me is like a sure, like that's how I can be so sure. It's because Jesus, through the Lord, I've got strength that isn't my own. To back up with scripture in Philippians chapter 4:13, it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Or Psalm 46:1, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help. Sorry, I read that wrong. Both of these verses talk of the strength of God, and that God offers, and I'm a walking testimony of that strength. I can tell you that now. It is funny because when I say that to my brother, his response is, I would just credit that to you. I would just say that that's your own strength, and that, that's just your own. But he obviously just doesn't understand it, because I know that strength isn't my own. I know I don't have that kind of strength. I know what was going on in my mind. I know that, like, especially in school, I used to cry at everything. I would literally name anything was done to me, I would just be crying. I was frail. Not that there's anything wrong with crying, but just to say that I was this really weak. I was just low. I was not confident. I didn't have the strength to put up with the stuff that I've been through, But he does. He thinks I did. So it's funny. It is funny, but that is for me a massive one. And another one is just the sacrifice. There's so much to talk about, and different. There's so many different opinions on the death and resurrection of Jesus. For myself, 100%. Of course, I believe that he died for our sins, and I believe that he did rise again. Now, if this is something you struggle with, or you question, that's okay. I'm not here to force my beliefs onto you, or to hit you over the head with why I believe what I believe. What I do know is that the world is messed up. It's broken. Whatever you believe, I'm sure you can see that. The truth is, because we all sin. We all lie. We all like. We get jealous. We say things about people. We gossip. I can think of so many things just that I just do on a daily basis that I'm like, like that. We're all sinners at the end of the day. The world is evil, but I believe Jesus is the answer to that evil and that sin. That he can defeat sin on the cross. Sin died alongside Jesus. That we no longer need to be held down by our past or our sins or our failures. In Romans 5, chapter 8, it says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." All I can say is the freedom you feel and the lightness that you receive once you acknowledge and accept that forgiveness is a feeling unlike anything else. It is a testament to the validity of Jesus. I'm aware all I've been able to really talk on is feelings and personal experiences, but to tell you the truth, that is where my belief lies. My feelings and experiences have led me to the truth, which is Jesus. It is more than that. It's not just a belief. It's a relationship, which is not just it's not just a receive. It's a what now what I can give because of that experience with Jesus. Having that knowledge of him and having him in my life has helped me to give to others and to give back to him and to, and at the end of the day, I'll never be able to give back what Jesus has given for me, nor will any of us ever, but certainly I want to spend my life trying. But look, you don't need to understand all this to follow Jesus. All you need to do is just trust him. Just go for it. I believe like I said earlier, I believe everyone that truly searches for him will find him. And that if you ask him to reveal himself to you, ask him for that peace, for that strength, from that release from your sins, your past, I do believe that he will reveal that to you. But yeah, well, we're gonna get back into some gaming now. But that is my first little part done. I know it's all based on feelings and my personal experiences, and really that's all I can give. You could go on forever for about the all the different, there's so many different points of views and opinions and bits of evidence here and there and different things, and all that stuff's great, but all I can offer you really is just what I know, and you don't need to trust me. I can't force anyone to trust me, or because I get it. If I used to be like that, people would tell me stuff and I'd just instantly be skeptical. I'm like, well, that's your experience, but how do I know that's not just you being emotional? Or like my brother, when I told him that it was strength, and he says, Well, how do I know that that isn't just your strength? Like he believes that that strength is my own. I know it's not, and all I can do is ask you to try and trust what I say. Give it a shot for yourself, and see what it takes you. And you know what? If you genuinely try and you don't get anything from it, then at least you can say you tried. But it's better to try and not find anything than to never have tried and then regret it at the end, you know. But that's just what I think. I'll continue on after a few more games, and then we'll close up. I was going to do a Q&A. We've not got many people in today, so if you're ready and you want to give some questions, feel free to. But I don't know if we'll get round to doing any questions today. Maybe we will, but I'm not going to count on it. I'm not going to count on it. Oh, I need to switch over to the gameplay now. Let's go. I don't know. We'll go here. I just go straight. I'll go down there, whatever that is. Okay, we need to get a win today. We were really close there, top 3. That guy was just bush camping, and I was not able to heal. Gonna need to figure out some better way to... You know what? I'll go up here. Some better way to... Or really, if I make it to the end again, I need to make sure I've got enough heals to survive. Oh, there's someone there. Do I go for that, or do I go down here? I think I go down here. There's enough fights going on there. Okay. I'll take that. Okay, it's always the big pots I can't find. Find plenty of minis to last me a lifetime. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, someone's here. Definitely a bot, but we move. I'll take the free loot, I guess. And did I get that? Oh, what? Did I seriously get a golden shotgun? Was that from the chest? Did I miss that? Come on. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. We'll 100% take that. Is it in here? Psychotic rat. Hello. Hi, I've got a question. I follow Jesus, but I have had and still don't have any feelings of peace or anything. Why does everyone make things about God giving us all freedom and peace, but so many never see it? It's a great question. And I want to give you a proper answer, so let me wait until I've killed this person before I answer you. But please don't leave. I just don't want to be focusing on fighting someone when I'm trying to answer your question, but it's a very good question. Where is this person? Okay, let me see. Thank you, sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just reading your question again. No, I can't promise I'll always have the answers, but I'm always going to try my best to answer the questions best I can. It's tricky. I'm trying to think of an example. You know, because I mean, I've been there myself 100%. It's tricky. Because I've definitely 100%. I've been in situations where, you know, I've believed in Jesus. I've been praying for that peace, and yet in the moment I haven't felt like I've got it. I think peace is definitely offered to us all. I also think sometimes if we're not if we don't have the peace in that situation, then it's maybe not to do with because he's not wanting us to have that, but maybe there's a lesson he's trying to teach us. When I was living in a situation that not to say this is your situation, but this is just an example for me. The time when I had probably the biggest lack of peace in my life. Realistically, in that moment, I was praying, and I thought, I was praying with everything, and I was like, God, where are you? Like, I need you in this situation. I've got no peace. I was riddled with anxiety, with stress. I was depressed. I was like, Lord, I need strength. I need your peace. I heard people talking about it all the time. All you need to do is just accept it. And I'm like, well, why? I'm trying to accept it. But in that situation, I was living in sin. In that situation particularly, I was in a relationship that was not godly, that wasn't honouring him, And so I was praying to God, why do I not have peace? But really, maybe the lack of peace didn't come from him not giving me that peace, but it came from my discernment. Because I think we all have discernment, and I think sometimes a lack of peace can be, okay, maybe I'm living a way that I'm not supposed to, or maybe I'm doing something that maybe I shouldn't be. Like, a lack of peace doesn't mean that it's that God's not giving you peace. It's maybe just that you're determining, or there's something in you that's telling you that in that situation it's maybe not what God's got for you, or maybe he's got better for you. Obviously, it's hard for me to know. I don't know your situation, and I don't want to pry. Of course, if you want to share, you absolutely can. But if it's nothing like that, it's just about, I think it's simply just prayer and just repetition. Just keep going to him. I think one thing I talked about this in my last stream. In fact, let me try and find it. I've got a verse. The question is, where did I put it? I may not have it, but it's a psalm, I think. And it's someone, they're right, obviously psalms are like letters and song. And the psalmist who was writing it is being honest with God and saying, where are you? Basically. Like, he's troubled. It's turmoil. He's questioning. He's like, what's going on? Why am I struggling? He says, why do good things come to those that do evil? Those that treat me wrong, why am I suffering? But then he ends it by saying, yet, that by still worshipping, by still praising, and amongst that, I think sometimes as Christians we maybe have a duty to have faith and believe, even in amongst that lack of peace. And I think sometimes, sorry, I'm losing what I was saying there. Because I was reading I'm just reading your chat there. I would say I'm frustrated seeing so many people online saying when you saved and received Jesus in the Spirit, you feel love and peace, and I'm confused thinking, am I saved because I don't feel anything? So yeah, that's what I was saying. So in this verse, this psalmist, this is like one of those, like the people, the psalms were written by people that were considered to be of great faith, people that were, well regarded by God in the Bible, and they had moments of doubt, of struggle. They had those moments where they felt no peace in their life. I'm not telling you about this peace and about this strength to say that that's always going to be the case, because there are going to be times where you're not going to feel those. And in this psalm, they're being open with God and being honest about how they're feeling, even though it's negative. And I think that can help. I think sometimes we're worried to be honest with God because we're like, but that's not positive. Sorry, I don't know what is going on here. Oh my. But yeah, I think sometimes it can just be a massive help to just be honest with God. Just come to him with your struggles, come to him with your doubts. It's okay. He just wants us to go to him. It's not about after this game I'm going to see if I can find that Sam for you, okay? Because I think it's really powerful, and when I first saw it I was like, man, I'd never thought that you could just be open with God like that. And I think sometimes that helps, because we can get so caught up so much in like, because like you're saying, you're struggling with the fact that people are telling you that when you're saved and when you receive Jesus that you feel love and peace, and you're confused yourself. So I think maybe you feel wrong admitting that because everyone else has told you that that's not the case for them. But I don't want you to believe that you're wrong for feeling those things, and that you're not allowed to have moments of doubt and moments of when you do have a lack of peace. Like, that is completely natural, that is completely normal, and I think being honest with God about those things can actually help you get to a better place with that. Does that help at all? I really hope it does. If you have any more questions, please ask me. That's just my opinion, and well, I think I've tried to answer that as good as I can. I apologise if that hasn't fully answered your question as well. Feel free to ask me or tell me what I've got wrong. I wish you could dodge roll in this game. Oh no. Needs his heals. Don't know where he was getting shot from. I appreciate you. Oh. Wait, what am I getting shot from? What I was going to say is I appreciate you being honest with that, because that can be a hard thing to open up about and be honest. Oh. It's easier for us to compare ourselves to other people in their walks, but everyone's walk is different. Everyone's experience is different. Yo, what is going on? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and people definitely shouldn't be saying that. That is not true, because there are literally, read the Psalms, there are so many, there are people just that are very clearly saying that they do not have peace. Let me see. Where did I find it? I wish I still had it. It was in my notes, but I don't know if I have it anymore. Man, I'll need to look in to see if I can find that. I would definitely agree with the latter. It is a process, and it's not just is it a process, it is a journey that I think really never ends. I think Christians, we should always be growing, and I would challenge those people that say that if they ever think that they're made it, that they've got it right, then they have already failed, or that they've already got the wrong idea, because it's not about getting it right away. It is not an instant transformation, certainly not. I know many people that certainly, I'll say, I know people that they've got saved and they've definitely been able to change parts of their lives and they've been better people because of it, but it doesn't mean that they instantly just change everything about themselves. It doesn't mean that they don't still struggle with the things they did before. Their lives maybe look different, they maybe look better, but better doesn't mean completely brand new, because any change, faith or not, it is a gradual thing. It's something you work at, and faith is no different. It's something you work at, something you continue to work on, continue to grow in, and that just does not happen overnight. So if people are telling you that, I would encourage you not to take that to heart, because at least that's not what I believe. That's not what I think. Okay, that was a bot. Some people get deliverance and are more ahead because they felt something, versus others which never feel anything but go only by faith. Yeah. No, some absolutely do get, like, I've known, like, some people, you'll see it that generally do change, and it's awesome to see. But yeah, some aren't as fortunate as that. I mean, I don't think I ever was. I used to struggle because I've seen so many people, like, would just be able to change, or like I've got a mate, actually a really good mate of mine, who's like a new Christian, but he just seems to get it, you know what I mean? Like he's just like transformed this, like he seems like a new, goodness, why is everyone after me today? No! Man, I just popped off there, that's crazy. Yeah, I know a guy that, new Christian, and he's just seemingly like instantly just completely transformed. And it can make people like myself, like, well, obviously we should be encouraged by that, like it's great that it's worked for them, but for me, like, it was like a lot of work. It took so much, so like for someone to like, who's just came into it, to be able to like take to it so well, it's like, man, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, why am I not experiencing that? Is it something to do with, like, am I doing something not right? Have I failed in some way? But I think it is just the relationship with God is a personal one. It's different for everyone. Your journey is going to look different than everyone else's, and God will speak to everyone in different ways. He's gonna, you know, however he's reached those other people, maybe it's been like that, like it's been overnight, but maybe that was the only way he was going to be able to get to them. You know, maybe something like that. Maybe he knows that they needed more. I don't know. It is different for everyone. Man, why is everyone coming to me? Sorry, I am trying to focus on these things, but like, I've got so many people like coming to this building right now. On 4 kills, I'm about to get my 5th. I'll see ya. Oh. 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 Okay. So obviously, I want everyone to, and I do believe that everyone can feel Jesus, but obviously if you feel like you're struggling to feel Jesus, I don't think that you're doing anything wrong necessarily. I just think it's like a muscle, right? God doesn't reveal himself to everyone in the same way. And so it can take you, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I've never seen anything like this. Ah, that's me. Well, it was good. It was worth a try. Goodness me, there was so many people. God speaks to everyone in different ways. And so it's like the more you learn to recognize when he's speaking to you, eventually you'll figure it out. You'll start to recognize it, and once you realize that, you'll then be able to. It's like a muscle. The more you use that, the more you exercise it, the more you'll get used to hearing him, to hearing his voice, to what he's telling you, and you will feel him. Feel closer to him. Like for me, for example, I used to struggle because I knew a lot of people that would talk about hearing from God as if it was like it was a voice, like it was something audible, and I was like, well, what am I doing wrong that I'm not experiencing this audible voice in my head, supposedly, that everyone else is feeling? Like, am I really a Christian if I don't hear this audible voice of God? So, but somewhere down the line, I realised that God would answer prayers and he would talk to me. For me, it's actually it's through discernment and it's through others. So God would speak to me through other people that he'd put into my life. Like I would pray about something and I'd realise that my answer would be, my prayer would be answered through like someone else that like had no reason to know what I'd prayed about, you know? And the more I started to, what is going on here? I've never seen this before. Okay, this is so weird. Fortnite is so weird now. Anyways, okay. What am I supposed to do here? But the more I then recognise, okay, this is how God is able to speak to me. This is how he talks to me, and like once I realised that, the more I got used to that, I was then able to really tune into him, what he was saying, and really feel closer to him. I want to share the gospel, but how can I share and tell people God will heal you and give you peace, and I'm here with nothing? I get it, man. So for me, for example, and sorry, I'm just trying to share something so that I can maybe you can relate. But so for me, I've been ill for the past. Well, really, I was ill for like 2 years. So I was someone that would serve in the worship team every day at church, or every week at church. I played every single week at church. I would serve in the worship team. I would help out with like youth stuff. I would like serve in church. I was reading my Bible. I had a relationship with God, and then all of a sudden I get this illness that like completely takes out of me. Like all the energy, all the confidence. It just like I'm riddled with anxiety. Physically, mentally strained all the time, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I've got faith. I know Jesus. I'll pray for healing, and this will be gone within a week. And then a week came, and I was like, oh, it's okay. God's timing. And then a month came, and I'm like, okay, it's God's timing, but God, can you please heal me? Eventually got to 2 years, and I'm still, to this day, I'm still ill. And I was kind of like, well, God, what's going on? How am I supposed to tell people that you can heal, that you can give, that, you know, that you, like, when I don't experience that, how can I share your word when I'm like trying to live it out, and I'm not seeing I felt like I wasn't seeing the fruit of it. Eventually, I think it took me recognizing that God wasn't asking for me in that situation. He wasn't asking for me to be better. It wasn't his time. Not that I had to realize, obviously, as well, it wasn't him that made me ill. But the fact that he wasn't healing me had nothing to do with, the fact that I wasn't healed had nothing to do with, him not wanting me to be healed, or like that's what he had for me. But he was still able to use me in that, and I wasn't letting him because I was caught up in the fact that he wasn't he hadn't chosen to heal me. And so like I didn't serve for 2 years. I stopped like reading my Bible. I stopped like talking to him. I stopped serving in church because I was like, no, if you wanted to heal me, why would I serve someone who doesn't do this for me? How can I worship when I've given you my worship for years, and yeah, I'm ill right now. But you know, eventually I just realised I just need to give him my yes, despite how I feel, despite the lack of peace, despite the lack of feeling. And so right now, like, I'm still just as ill, but since I've done that, I've felt so much more peace and gratitude, and I've just felt a new strength about me. Now that I serve despite my illness, despite my weakness, I'm not annoyed at God for not healing me. I'm just glad that he's been able to use me despite those things, and so for me that's really helped. Just being like, you know what, Lord, regardless if I understand, I'm just going to trust your will. Regardless if I have peace, I'm just going to serve, and I'm just going to trust your timing. And to be fair, my health has gotten better. I do feel better than I once did. I'm not 100%. I'm not healed, but I do feel better, and he's given me the strength to do the things I used to do, even though I'm unwell now. Maybe not at full capacity, but at a level that I can still serve him, and that I can still share about his love, you know. I don't know if that'll help at all. Whereabouts are you watching from, anyways? I'd like to know. I appreciate you watching the stream. Whereabouts are you watching us from right now? South Africa, nice. Wow. Here we go. Do you have a church you go to in South Africa? We've got some I've got some South African friends in my church. Nice people. You watch online? What church do you watch online? Is it a specific church, or you just watch different churches? Two 819 and some others here and there. Very nice. That's cool. Is there a reason you don't go to church, or is it just easier for you to watch online? I'm just curious. My church has an online service and a few campuses in person as well, so we We have people that watch from everywhere, really. This gun's good. Absolutely, I'm exactly the same. Unfortunately, there's too many that, in my opinion, are too willing to just sugarcoat and just tell people what they want to hear, and they miss out the truth. It's a shame that that's where it's got to, but no, I 100% agree. It is. Really, that's unfortunate. Well, fair enough. Well, hope you never know. Hopefully one will open up close enough to you one day. Do you play Fortnite, or do you just happen to have stumbled across the stream? I sometimes occasionally preach at my church, in a service. My last service, I had talked on, I preached on when healing doesn't come, because a lot of people preach about healing, and I believe that healing does happen, and I believe it's great, but I'd never heard anyone talk about, well, what do we do when that doesn't come? Because, well, I know how I felt kind of discouraged by myself when I knew that I was still, like, I'd had people pray for healing over me and that hadn't came, and so I'd felt discouraged, and I had no doubt that there must have been other people like me. So I researched it and I preached on it, and it went down really well. I mean, people really liked it and really appreciated it, and it was able to be a help for a lot of people. Exactly, 100%. I agree. I think that's when your faith really shines, is when you're faithful despite the things you face, and the victories and the losses. You need to be remaining faithful. It is tricky though. It's not easy. You play FPS, nice. Have you played the new Battlefield at all? I've been playing that quite a bit. If you play, I've got a bunch of... Oh, sorry, I'm trying to... this is going to be me, isn't it? It's not good. Played Red Sec, nice. Yeah, me and my mate got it when it came out. Played it for a bit. To be fair, right now I'm playing a lot of Arc Raiders. That's kind of what I'm enjoying the most, but Battlefield is good fun as well. But yeah, I mean, it is expensive. AAA's now, like, what, £60? Or, well, I don't know what the currency is where you are, but I imagine it's still expensive. Oh, no! Yeah, I mean, me and my mates play a lot of games. Do you, I mean, community-wise, do Do you have much like community? Do you have any Christian mates that you're able to talk to about this kind of stuff, or do you just find yourself kind of dealing with a lot of this by yourself? ZAR to dollar. I've never. I don't know what the exchange rate would be to the pound. I'm in the UK, so I'd be in pounds myself. What is Fortnite, man? People flying about. I should never realised I'm actually doing okay in this game. 8 kills and there's only 4 people left, but I've got no heals, so I'll probably end up dying. Oh. That's the person I fought earlier. That's not gonna happen. That's fair enough. Listen, I've got a bunch of Christian mates. We'll all play stuff together. If you're ever wanting to get some Christian mates to play some games with, feel free to drop your Discord, and I can always add you if you're looking for some Christian mates. Because I know that can be hard. I used to have. I've only recently really started making like Christian mates that I can play games with online. All my mates before weren't, and it kind of made things kind of tough. Kind of took the joy out of it a little bit, but it's been a blessing. I know it can be for many people to have something like that. So if you're looking for, if you'd appreciate some Christian mates, I'd always be happy to add you in Discord. I've got a group of guys, you know. Oh, I'm dead. Wait, how did I revive? He's just gonna kill me right away. Yeah. Or feel free to give a follow in. Put it in later. It's totally up to you, but sounds good. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to go into my last wee point of discussion, and then the stream will probably come to a close, but you're more than welcome to stay for that. The stream I'm just talking about, I'm talking through kind of my reasons for why I believe in Jesus, and just kind of what I think can help some others. I don't know, but just a bit of testimony and a bit of sharing my faith. So I talked about earlier about, you know, in my life, the peace, more so the strength for me is what's kind of helped, you know, always been like the fact, like the things that I've made it through with Jesus, I know I wouldn't have made it through without, if that makes sense. And lastly, I think for me a big one is identity, which I know of a lot of people struggle about. A lot of people, when you think of identity, maybe you're thinking about, you know, how you look. Maybe you find it in your identity in your work, what you do for a living. Sometimes I think it can be easy to find your identity in something negative, or like something that someone says of you. I used to find, you know, in the past I was in a relationship that wasn't good for me. It was a toxic relationship. It was not a godly one. God wasn't in the center of it, and my partner at the time would say things over me and put things over me that weren't true. They were said to bring me down. But eventually, when you hear something like negatives enough, it can be easy to identify with those negatives, you know? Like, it can be easy just to believe that about yourself and to identify with that and start believing that for yourself. Sometimes those that can really have the most effect over us are those that are closest to us. Verbal abuse, yeah, it would be in many instances. I think for some people it's a way to kind of have control. Like if you believe that about yourself, they're then going to have kind of more control over you, if that makes sense. That's kind of the dynamic that I ended up taking. But the Bible tells us that we are all made in God's image. It tells us that he has a plan and a purpose over every single one of us. In Ephesians 2:10 it says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." I really like the image of that we are his workmanship. My youngest brother is a luthier, so he builds guitars for a living. That's what he does for a job. He builds guitars, and it's a long process. It's from choosing the type of wood for the correct tone that you want. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. But it comes down to choosing the right materials, choosing the shape, carving the wood, tuning it, piecing it all together, making sure the pieces match, designing it. It's such a long and tedious process. It's meticulous and precise. But those guitars are his workmanship. They're handcrafted with purpose to be played to sound nice and precision. In this verse it says that we are the workmanship of Jesus, crafted for his purpose, for good works, which were prepared for us beforehand. If you wanted to have your guitar fixed, you're gonna hand it into someone that knows how to build guitars, to fix guitars. You're not gonna hand it into a plumber. So when we look for identity, why do we look for it in places other than Jesus? If we are his workmanship, he knows the inner workings of us, of our lives. He knows our struggles, our gifts, our purpose. He's prepared beforehand good works for us. Once I found my identity in Jesus, I no longer looked for it in what other people said about me, in money, relationships. Instead, I now have a heart of just wanting to help people. And I want to be a part of those good works that he has set apart for me. And I just want to be able to share it, the experience, the word of God, so that other people might experience those good works for themselves, and be able to give to others in that way. And knowing that helped me to realize that what my purpose in life was, and it's so amazing to have that. And if your identity is something you struggle with, then you should know first and foremost that you're not alone. I think it is such a common thing for people to struggle with. But God has a plan for everyone. You are his workmanship. And the most important thing to know is that an identity with Jesus is not something that is earned but received. You don't need to do anything to earn it. You simply just need to receive it. Just need to ask him for that you would just could receive that from him It is really, I'd say as simple as that. I know it's not as always black and white, but I think it starts with just inviting that, and accepting that from him. But yeah, I think for me, those are really the main things in my life that if someone was to ask me, why do I have faith? Why do I believe in Jesus? I think that's what I would say. It's the peace and the strength that he's given me, the identity that I've found in him. I mean, and there are so many other things that I could go on forever. But those are certainly some of them. And look, it's okay that you don't know what you would say, because it took me a while before I knew what I would say. People would ask me, "Why do you believe in Jesus?" And I was kind of like, I don't know. I kind of just do. I think sometimes our mind and our spirit kind of knows before we do, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think sometimes maybe we don't know. We can't put it into words. It's just something we know. But I really I appreciate the honesty. I think based on what you've said today, the one thing I'd encourage from you is like take that to God, take that honesty to him. He's not looking for us to sugarcoat things. He's just looking for us to be honest with him. He wants us to include him in the good and the bad. He wants to be included in those conversations. I mean, the same way that you would go to maybe a parent if you were struggling with something. If you had a problem, you would speak to your parents. God is our Father, you know what I mean? When you're struggling, he wants you to go to him just as much as when you're doing well. Still feel embarrassed. I just want to get past it. What do you feel? What do you mean you feel embarrassed? Do you mean because you feel like you don't know what you would say? Yeah, I get that. It can be tricky. I know it looks different for everyone else. Well, genuinely, what you've done with me today, I mean, you've been open and you've been honest with me, and obviously, you've just stumbled across my stream, and I'm glad you did, and I hope it's been able to help in some way. But I think the same way you've done that with me, bring that to God. Everything you've said to me, bring that to him. Because he wants to hear those things. And look, if you take anything from me, and if you take anything from this, just know that you're not alone, that you're not wrong for feeling the way you feel, that your doubts and your confusion it doesn't disqualify you or mean that you're less of a Christian. You're doing fine. I think the fact that you're asking these questions mean you're doing better than you think you are. I think the fact that you're asking and you're fighting for your relationship with God shows that there is actually faith there that maybe you don't realise. So I think it's really good. I think it's really important, and I do hope you've taken something from today. Talking to another Christian is so different compared to talking about Jesus to normal non-believers. It is, but what I'll say is don't focus on talking to others before you've gotten your walk right yourself. We can't do anything for anyone else before we can do it for ourselves. if that makes sense. If your relationship with Jesus isn't right, you don't need to don't spend time worrying about how can I bring that to others before you've gotten that right yourself. You need to make sure that you've got yourself right with God, if that makes sense. And once you've gotten that right yourself, then it'll come a lot easier to share that with others, to talk to others about that. Could definitely be better. Yeah, and listen, it probably always can be better. No matter what stage we're at, we should always be striving for more. You know what I mean? We should always be. I think we're not perfect because we are human as well. We need to remember, but it could always it could be better, and it can probably always be better. We just need to continue trying to do our best, and I think that's all God wants, is that we try our best. He's not asking for perfection; He's just asking that we try. You know, He's just asking that we include Him in the good and the bad. But yeah, I appreciate you coming along for the stream. I'm probably going to end the stream here, but I thank you for joining in. And again, my offer's open if you want to send along the Discord at any time, or I will be, I won't be live for the next 2 weeks, but I will be after. So feel free to pop into any future streams. I'm away on holiday, but once I'm back, I'll be straight back at it. So look forward to seeing you. This stream was a bit more last minute, so there's less people in today, but we'll see what happens in future streams. But yeah, thank you very much for joining in your chats. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching the VOD afterwards, thank you for watching along. I appreciate you joining me for the stream, and I hope that you've been able to take something away from today. So thank you very much, and have a good week.